I'm not even sure we're going to call it advertising in 10 years.
I don't know that we'll call it advertising.
The advertising, the messaging approach has to change.
How we even define advertising is going to change.
It'll be a challenge.
Hi, I'm Jim Signorelli, founder and CEO of ESW. You know, in 1999, when we started our agency, things were so different. Cell phones were big, clumsy boxes. The internet was this new world that was just being discovered. TiVo had just been invented. Yes, a lot has changed, but you know, it's hard to drive staring at the rearview mirror. And that really sums up the film you're about to see. We have some of our own opinions about what we might expect from marketing and advertising as we look ahead, but we decided to get a second opinion. Actually, we got more than just one second opinion. We got quite a few from a lot of people outside these walls. From small, large, and growing companies, from universities and marketing organizations, media experts, even other advertising and public relations executives. We also got perspectives from some younger people who are planning careers in communications. So look ahead with us now towards the future of marketing and advertising. 10 years ahead, and what a future it will be.
Marketers are getting tired of paying money to buy people's attention when people really don't want to be bombarded with advertising. I think it's going to be much more about spending money to earn people's attention. I'm not sure we're going to call that advertising.
It's not just about sending messages anymore, like one-way messages out. It's a two-way street, you know. Brands communicate, consumers respond.
A lot of industries are having problems with social networking, blogs, all these different pieces. Well, maybe we should put up a blog. Maybe we should tweet. Maybe, you know, these things that they don't know exactly what's going on or how to take advantage of them. It's because they're trying to use them for message control. The old message control and push it down on people, it's not going to work anymore. Letting go of that message is going to be the thing that happens most over the 10 years.
Letting go. Learning to live with the idea that consumers will have at least some control of a brand's message. That was the first big challenge we heard about. Increased segmentation, that was the next.
From my perspective as a multicultural marketing expert, is that the most significant difference in advertising has already started. Next year, the U.S. Census is going to come out with a new report that will clearly indicate that this country has gone beyond a homogeneous culture. There are ways to communicate to Hispanics and African Americans and Asians in a way that is relevant to them.
I think the biggest change is going to be less mass marketing and more of a local approach, a very targeted approach. I think with all the technology that's been developed over the last few years, we're really going to be able to hone in on specific advertising audiences.
I believe you're going to see greater, deeper, further, and wider segmentations. We're going to be able to get smarter about targeting micro audiences, you know, based upon traits in their profiles.
Campaigns will increasingly integrate other fragmented channels. So you'll see campaigns with print, mobile, podcasts, much like we see today, but many, many more channels with similar execution, but creative integration into the different media.
Finally, we heard how we're going to answer the age-old riddle.
I think clients are going to increasingly value those agencies that not only can develop and bring the craft of advertising and marketing communications to the table, but can bring the analytics to it to help demonstrate accountability.
Certainly over the next 10 years, marketers will be in a better place to understand what is working, how it's working, and why it's working.
I think it's going to have to do a lot about measurement. I mean, who would have thought we'd have portable people meters where you'd be wearing mobile devices to track what radio stations and TV stations you're listening to?
The pressure will be on advertising to prove its worth and essentially demonstrate that it actually is having a positive effect on sales.
The only thing I'm a little worried about are these radio frequency chips in magazines if I'm in the restroom. I just have this vision of that I'm not quite sure I want to go there.
We all know that consumers are getting harder to reach, but are they getting harder to convince as well? Assuming advertising is persuasive today, will it be just as persuasive in the year 2019? Our experts were pretty evenly divided.
I don't think the ability to convince people who you are and what your products are is going to be very influential at all. I think the people have already begun and are going to continue to look to other people to tell them what's good and what's not good. People have already experienced it before.
You know, I don't know if advertising will be as influential or persuasive. It'll certainly serve a great role in what we're doing today and how brands, marketers get out their message. But what we're seeing today is just further and greater power to the actual consumer, and I see nothing to stop that.
The influence of the ad is decreasing, and the challenge is finding ways to reach potential customers in ways that aren't, the 30-second TV spot, about finding ways to connect with them where it's not the traditional ways that worked for the last 50 years.
However, half our respondents were a lot more positive, citing new trends in technology that advertisers can use to their advantage.
Absolutely, it will be as important, maybe more important than ever. I don't know that we'll call it advertising in the way in which we currently or historically have thought of it, which is push-based, one-way-based messages. But it's all of the ways in which consumers and prospects have the ability to connect with brands. So what a great time, what a fabulous opportunity to be creating ways in which companies can engage and connect with customers and prospects.
I think the ability to connect with consumers, regardless of the tools and technologies and new media, will still be a skill and an art that the best agencies will possess. And those people who do it well will connect with consumers, and advertising will be influential, and those who don't, it won't be. So the fundamentals won't change, it's just the tools and technologies will, I think.
Advertising will continue to be influential and persuasive, but it's going to be in a different form, in different media. I think the media that's going to emerge in my guess is the media that's really going to be emerging in the next decade probably is going to be the cell phone.
It's going to be really important that you are meeting the demand of your customers at the right time. And that's going to lead to advertising being more influential because you're actually hitting the message at the right time to the right person in the right place.
People will presumably be more inclined to listen to messages that actually have some meaning and relevance to them and to their immediate needs.
We tend to side with the optimists, but either way, advertising is here to stay.
I would like to hope so, but I think that's again going to be dependent on whether the people who create advertising going forward keep their eye on the ball and make sure that advertising is about selling and messaging. I think we've gotten a bit off the mark in recent years, and creating advertising is more of a form of entertainment. But I think if advertising is going to be influential 10 years from now, we're going to have to be sure that we get back to some sort of discipline and really create ads that are smart, entertaining, but also are about selling and delivering a message to consumers.